After 60, not all cheeses are equal, 6 to eat and 6 to avoid. Did you know? The kind of cheese you eat every week might be shaping how long you live. Let me ask you something simple, a question that could quietly shape your health for the next 10 years. And no, I'm not exaggerating. I'm not talking about junk food, not soda, not sugar. I'm talking about something far more familiar. Cheese. Soft, creamy, comforting, a feel-good staple in most American kitchens. And according to the CDC in 2023, over 85% of Americans over 60 eat cheese at least twice a week. Chances are you're one of them. So am I. Cheese is part of breakfast, a go-to snack, and a childhood sandwich memory. But here's the thing. The real question isn't whether you should eat cheese or not. It's what kind of cheese are you actually eating. I've worked with older adults for more than 20 years. And I'm not here to scare you, I'm here to protect you, because the most familiar foods are often the ones that quietly take the biggest toll. I still remember one of my patients, Tom. He's 72, retired from the Postal Service. Tom came in for his usual checkup. Healthy guy, didn't smoke, rarely drank, stayed fairly active. But his blood work told a different story. Sky-high LDL cholesterol, slightly elevated liver enzymes, and bloating after meals. Tom looked puzzled. "Doc, I eat healthy, I have cheese every day, good for the bones, right?" When I asked more, he told me he eats those convenient cheese slices. The kind you peel and slap on a sandwich. And you know what? I didn't blame him. He's doing what millions of Americans do every single day, without ever being told the other side of the story. We're told cheese is good for our bones, good source of calcium, protein, healthy fat. And that's true if you're eating the right kind of cheese. But eat the wrong ones, and it could quietly raise your stroke risk, clog your arteries, upset your gut, and fog your memory. So let me ask you, are you eating the kind of cheese your body needs after 60, or just the kind you've always eaten out of habit? I want you to picture this. You're 65, you go in for a routine checkup. Everything looks good, until your doctor says your arteries are starting to harden. You think, was it the bacon, the butter, the sugar? But no one ever told you that little yellow cheese slice in your morning toast could be the real problem. Now listen, I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying it to wake you up just a little. Because after 60, our bodies don't handle food the way they used to. Kidneys slow down, the liver detoxes less efficiently. Your gut absorbs nutrients differently. And your blood vessels, they're more vulnerable than ever. I'm not telling you to give up cheese, not at all. But I am asking you to learn which cheeses to keep and which ones to let go. That's why I made this video. Because if I can help you switch just one kind of cheese, just one, you might sleep better, digest easier, control your blood pressure more naturally, and maybe, just maybe, live healthier for years to come. So here's the question: cheese, should you eat it or avoid it? The answer depends entirely on which cheese you choose. If you've believed all cheese is healthy, I invite you to keep watching. Because up next, I'm going to reveal the truth about so-called real and fake cheeses. The kind that show up on American plates every single day and directly affect your heart, your memory, and your long-term health. Are you ready? In the next section, I'll show you. Not all cheese is created equal, and not every type deserves a place in your fridge. The untold truth: not all cheese is real food. You know, I used to think, like most people do, that cheese is just food, a natural part of the food pyramid. But let me ask you something. What if I told you that some types of cheese, as a doctor, I can't even call food anymore? We're living in a time where almost anything can be imitated, even cheese. Picture this. You walk into any grocery store in America, a long aisle of coolers stretching for yards, filled with shiny orange slices, perfectly square, individually wrapped in plastic. Familiar, right? Looks safe, friendly even. But do you really know what's inside that wrapper? According to data from Cleveland Clinic, many of today's packaged cheeses contain only about 50% actual cheese. The rest, emulsifiers, preservatives, artificial coloring, and sodium phosphate, an industrial salt that's been linked to early vascular aging and increased kidney stress in adults over 60. A 2022 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that people who ate processed cheese daily had a 27% higher risk of heart disease, compared to those who stuck with natural cheese. Doesn't that feel backward? Cheese, once considered a powerhouse of calcium and protein, can, with one wrong choice, turn into a hidden driver of high blood pressure, clogged arteries, and digestive issues. One of my patients, Margaret, 69 years old, said this to me once. "Doctor, I have cheese every day, every morning. I thought it was good for my bones. But the kind she ate. Pre-shredded cheese, quick to melt, easy to sprinkle. What happened? Bloating, acid reflux, restless sleep. So we tried a tiny shift, 2 weeks, no more shredded cheese, and the results, she started sleeping better. Her blood sugar stabilized. No more heavy, sluggish feeling after dinner. I'm not sharing this to scare you. I'm sharing it so you stay aware, because not everything that looks like cheese is cheese. When's the last time you checked the ingredients on the back of the package? Ever wonder how a slice of cheese can sit in your fridge for 8 months and not spoil? If you see words like cheese product, processed cheese food, or pasteurized cheese spread, I hate to break it to you. You're not eating real cheese. You're eating something designed to look like cheese, but offering little to no true health value. We overlook it because we're used to it. And sometimes what we're used to is what deceives us most. I remember reading a piece from Harvard Health. These industrial cheeses don't just lack the natural enzymes your gut needs. They actually disrupt your gut microbiome, the healthy bacteria that control your immune system, mood, even memory. So now the question becomes, how do you tell the difference between real cheese and what's essentially an edible illusion? Right after this, I'm going to walk you through 6 types of cheese you should avoid, especially if you're over 60. Not just because they're bad, but because they've stopped being real food altogether. They're factory-made products, and your body was never built to digest them. I truly believe this. One small, wrong choice every day can lead to a big consequence 10 years from now. But the beautiful part, you also have the power to change that. And it all starts with your fridge. Cheeses that seem healthy, but quietly take a toll on your body. In the last section, I shared why eating cheese after 60 isn't just a question of should you eat it or not. It's about what kind, when, and even who you're sharing it with. Now I want to invite you to take a closer look, right inside your own fridge. Because some of the cheeses we've grown so familiar with, the ones that look harmless, convenient, even comforting, might actually be quietly making your body pay a price, day after day, year after year. And let me be clear, I'm not here to judge you or bash any brands. I'm here as someone who's seen too many patients struggle with blood pressure, digestion, and memory, without ever realizing that their friendly cheese from breakfast might be playing a role. Cheese wedge processed cheese slices, those individually wrapped yellow squares. They're in millions of American kitchens. They melt fast, they taste good, they're easy to throw in a sandwich, but did you know? According to Cleveland Clinic, many of these slices contain sodium phosphate, an industrial salt that can speed up vascular aging and strain the kidneys when consumed regularly. One of my 66-year-old patients, Mark, once told me, I always thought 2 cheese slices in the morning were healthy, but after 8 years, my doctor said my kidneys were wearing down, too much sodium. I never imagined something so small could be the cause. Cheese wedge cream cheese, smooth, spreadable, tasty, but with a catch. It's soft, it's popular, it's comforting. But Harvard Health Publishing warns that a single serving can contain 30–40% of your entire day's saturated fat limit, especially concerning for older adults. Does that mean you can never have it? No. But if you're managing cholesterol, watching your weight, or preventing stroke, this is one cheese to treat with caution and moderation. Cheese wedge pasteurized cheese sticks or processed cheese blocks. Some of these products go by names like cheese food or cheese product, because they don't actually contain enough dairy to legally qualify as real cheese under FDA guidelines. They're loaded with emulsifiers, preservatives, and artificial coloring. And while they're convenient, they're harder to digest and offer little to no probiotic benefit compared to traditionally aged cheeses. Cheese wedge nacho cheese and cheese dips. These sauces might taste fun, but their nutrition profile is lacking. Often filled with processed oils, starches, and coloring, and low in real protein. WebMD notes that eating these regularly can spike blood sugar and trigger inflammatory reactions in blood vessels. Cheese wedge industrial smoked cheese, smoky flavor. But where's the smoke really from? Many assume smoked cheese is naturally aged in wood smoke. But most mass-produced, smoked cheeses today are treated with liquid smoke flavoring, a compound that may contain PAHs, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, which the World Health Organization classifies as potentially carcinogenic when consumed long-term. Not all are dangerous, but if you don't know the source, it's smart to stay cautious. Cheese wedge canned cheese spreads and jarred cheese creams. These are shelf-stable, don't need refrigeration, and spread easily. But that convenience comes with a cost. To last that long on a shelf, they often contain anti-mold agents, emulsifiers, and trans fats. A report in the European Journal of Nutrition revealed that some of these spreads may also contain phthalates, compounds that can disrupt hormones when regularly consumed. So the real question is, are we actually eating cheese or something just made to look like cheese? I'm asking not to scare you, but to get you thinking. Because after 60, your digestive system, your liver, your kidneys, your heart, they just don't bounce back the way they used to. Let me ask you something. Do you wake up tired even after a full night's sleep? Feel bloated after what seems like a healthy breakfast? Eat cheese for calcium, but still struggle with joint pain, memory lapses, or insomnia? Maybe what you think is nutrition isn't actually doing your body any favors. But wait, I didn't come here just to warn you. I came to share better choices, truly better ones, that can help you feel lighter, think clearer, and age stronger. Because the right kind of cheese, when chosen carefully, can support your bones, protect your heart, fuel your brain, and add vibrant years to your life. And coming up next, I'll show you 6 incredible cheeses I regularly recommend to my patients and use myself every single week. These aren't just tasty. They're gentle on digestion, rich in nutrition, and perfect for a healthier life after 60. 6 cheeses I've seen transform health in older adults. After I talk about the types of cheese to avoid, many of my patients often ask me, "So, Doc, is there any cheese I should eat every day? I mean, I can't just give up cheese forever." And the answer is yes. Not only are there better options, but a few types of cheese, when chosen and eaten the right way, can act almost like a natural prescription, no pills required. I've worked with hundreds of older adults, from those who grew up on American cheese slices, to Greek grandmothers who still make fresh feta at home. And I've seen it with my own eyes. Switching from processed cheese to natural cheese can change digestion, improve sleep, stabilize blood pressure, and even enhance memory. Today, I want to share with you 6 types of cheese I often recommend. Of course, in the right portion and based on your unique health needs. Cheese wedge Parmesan Reggiano, the real deal from Italy, not the stuff in the green can. This isn't the powdered sprinkle you put on spaghetti. I'm talking about real Parmigiano Reggiano, aged at least 24 months in Italy. Just 1 ounce gives you over 330 mg of bioavailable calcium, along with the perfect balance of phosphorus and magnesium, which Harvard Health says makes it one of the best absorbed sources for your bones. It also contains tyrosine and casomorphin, compounds that may calm your nerves, ease anxiety, and even promote better sleep. One of my 74-year-old patients, a woman who had mild osteoporosis and chronic insomnia, started eating just a small piece of real Parmesan after dinner. 3 weeks later, she was sleeping through the night. Cheese wedge Swiss Gruyere, from the Alps to your heart. Made from grass-fed cow's milk in the Swiss Alps. Gruyere is packed with vitamin B12, lactopeptides, and glutathione precursors. Nutrients that Cleveland Clinic links to better memory, blood pressure control, and slower cellular aging. A study in Switzerland even showed that older adults who ate Gruyere 3 times a week maintained more lean muscle mass compared to those who got their protein from red meat. Have you ever eaten cheese not just for taste, but to help protect your memory? Cheese wedge cottage cheese, gentle, light, protein-rich. This one's not flashy, it doesn't have a strong flavor. But cottage cheese is loaded with easily digestible casein protein, low in sodium, and very low in saturated fat. Mayo Clinic says it's a great option for older adults managing high blood pressure, diabetes, or recovering from physical activity. Add a few spoonfuls to sliced banana, peaches, or sprinkle on some walnuts, and you've got a snack that's good for digestion, energy, and healing. Cheese wedge ricotta cheese, soft, mild, and kind to your body. Made from whey protein, the gold standard of dairy. Ricotta is gentle on your liver, easy for your kidneys, and won't weigh you down. WebMD reports that whey from ricotta helps build lean muscle, without causing bloating or digestive distress, perfect for seniors. Cheese wedge feta cheese, salty, crumbly, and rich in healthy fat. Traditional feta, made from sheep or goat's milk, is naturally low in lactose and high in CLA, conjugated linoleic acid, a compound shown by Healthline to reduce inflammation and visceral fat. I have one Mediterranean patient, 81 years old, who eats feta every day with olive oil and fresh tomatoes. His blood pressure, 120/80, heart rate, 64, memory, sharper than mine some days. Cheese wedge pecorino romano, bold, nutty, and packed with K2 and omega-3s. Made from sheep's milk, pecorino romano is usually shaved onto pasta or veggies. But it does a lot more than flavor your food. It's rich in vitamin K2, which directs calcium into your bones and away from your arteries. It also contains natural omega-3s, known for their anti-inflammatory properties. Harvard Medical School notes that K2 in pecorino may help prevent artery hardening, which is especially important if you're on statins or have a history of heart disease. See, cheese, when chosen wisely, can be part of your wellness strategy, not a guilty pleasure. You don't need to give up cheese, you just need to start seeing it differently. So, want to start tomorrow? Pick just one of these 6. Instead of the same old plastic-wrapped yellow slice, try 1 ounce of real Parmesan. Eat it slowly after a meal and just notice how your body responds. Because sometimes the smallest change in what's on your plate leads to the biggest shift in how you feel. Timing it right, how cheese can become a longevity tool. Choosing the right cheese is the first step, but you know what? Even the healthiest kind can lose its benefits if you eat it at the wrong time. Your body isn't the same as it was at 30 or even 50. After 60, your digestive enzymes slow down, the good bacteria in your gut decrease. Your metabolism doesn't process food the way it used to. That means when you eat matters just as much as what you eat. I want you to imagine your body as a biological clock. At different times of the day, your body prioritizes different nutrients. And if you give it the right thing at the right moment, you'll start to feel the difference, sometimes almost immediately. 10 o'clock between 9:00 a.m. 11:00 a.m. Prime time for soft cheeses. This is when your pancreas and liver are functioning at their peak. If you have a serving of cottage cheese or ricotta during this window, paired with fruits like banana, apple, or peach, you're giving your body gentle protein to fuel your muscles, support for steady blood sugar, a calm, smooth start for your digestive system. I had a patient, Mr. Henry, 67 years old. He used to wake up with a mild headache every morning after drinking coffee on an empty stomach. So we tried a small change. Before his coffee, he had half a cup of cottage cheese with a few apple slices. After 10 days, no more morning dizziness. His blood sugar stabilized and he slept more deeply at night. 4 o'clock between 3:00 p.m. 5:00 p.m., a sustained energy boost for your bones and nerves. This is when cortisol, the stress hormone, begins to dip, and your body becomes more efficient at absorbing calcium and vitamin B12 from cheese. Try a small slice of Parmesan Reggiano with a few pear slices, or Gruyere on whole grain toast with a handful of almonds. This isn't just a snack. It's natural support for your nervous system and bones right when your body needs it most. Do you ever feel tired in the late afternoon? Irritable, unfocused, maybe even a little foggy? It might not be age, it might just be a missing nutrient at a missing time. 9 o'clock evening, hard cheeses as a gentle digestive aid. Italians have a beautiful habit. They finish dinner with a small piece of Parmesan, almost like dessert. Why? Hard cheeses contain predigested casein, which helps ease digestion. They also carry tyrosine and tryptophan, amino acids that promote serotonin, the calming hormone that helps you fall asleep. One of my patients, Miss Rose, 78 years old, had struggled with insomnia for years. She took melatonin every night, so we tried switching it up, just 1 small ounce of Parmesan after dinner, eaten slowly. By week 2, she was sleeping 6 full hours straight through the night. Crossmark important warning. Don't eat cheese on an empty stomach, especially high-sodium varieties. Cheese is rich in salt and without any buffer in your stomach. It can increase strain on your kidneys and raise blood pressure. And please avoid pairing cheese with processed meats like bacon or sausage. According to the World Cancer Research Fund, this combo significantly raises the risk of colon cancer in older adults. I don't just want you to know what kind of cheese to eat. I want you to know how to eat it, so it becomes part of your journey to a healthier, longer life. Now you've learned how to choose wisely, eat mindfully, and maybe even live better. But there's still one more piece, something most people overlook. It's about the emotions, the experiences, and the powerful stories that live behind the smallest changes. One small change, one big result, a story I'll never forget. I've done this job long enough that there are faces I'll never forget. But there's one man who made me reflect deeply about cheese, about how we eat, and how we live. His name was Bill, a true Southern gentleman, 71 years old, tall frame, a slight hunch, and a voice still full of energy. He didn't come to my clinic because he was sick. He came because he felt dull, no appetite, no sleep, and no real spark for life anymore. "I eat fine, doc," he told me. "Bread, cheese, deli meat, coffee, same thing every day for the last 10 years. His test results weren't alarming, but one thing stood out. His CRP and inflammation marker was unusually high. His LDL cholesterol just enough to be a concern, and liver enzymes starting to creep up. I asked more questions. And just as I suspected, Bill was eating 2 slices of processed cheese every morning on his sandwich, and sometimes nacho cheese while watching baseball with friends. I didn't ask him to quit everything. I just said, "Bill, if you're open to it, let's try one small change. Let's swap the cheese and shift the timing a bit." So we replaced the processed slices with real Gruyere, 1 ounce in the afternoon. In the morning, he had fresh ricotta with oatmeal and blueberries. No medication, no extreme diet, just a mindful swap, one he could stick with. 4 weeks later, he came back. I'd never seen him smile so freely. "Doc," he said, "I slept 7 hours straight. No more bloated stomach when I wake up, and I just feel happier." We ran his labs again. CRP dropped 42%. LDL went down by 18 points. Liver enzymes, back in the safe zone. No magic, just removing the daily triggers of inflammation and replacing them with what his body truly needed. I'm not telling you this to brag about a treatment success. I'm telling you this because I want you to know something important. Change doesn't have to be a revolution. It can be a different choice at 9 a.m., a different kind of cheese at lunch, a pause before your hand reaches into the fridge. You don't need to live extreme. Just live a little more aware, and your body, it will thank you quietly every single day. So how can you start today? Let me help you recap everything, so you can take small, steady steps that truly make a difference. Small choices, bigger life. After everything I've shared with you today, you might be wondering, so what do I do with all this information? Don't worry, I'm not here to hand you a checklist of things to do. I'm here to help you start. In a gentle, manageable way, the same way I've helped hundreds of older patients do it. Together, we've explored 6 types of cheese to avoid, not because they're bad, but because they're no longer real food. They're processed products filled with additives, salt, saturated fats, and compounds that silently stir up inflammation. 6 types of cheese to embrace, the ones your 60-plus body truly needs. Easy to digest, rich in real protein, bioavailable calcium, and most importantly, kind to your gut, blood vessels, and heart. We also talked about timing when to eat cheese based on your body's natural rhythm, to let calcium go where it belongs, to help protein convert efficiently, and to make food nourish, not burden your system. And above all, we saw a real change in a real person, simply by switching the kind of cheese he ate every morning. So what about you? Are you eating the kind of cheese that fits your 60-plus body? Or are you just eating what's familiar without ever looking too closely? I'm not here to tell you to cut out everything you love. I'm not asking you to eat clean or live like a monk. I'm simply inviting you to take a minute, look into your fridge, read the label a little closer, and ask yourself, is this real cheese or just a disguised product in a pretty wrapper? And if you've been stuck in that loop, that's okay, really. My hope is that after this video, you'll make choices with clearer understanding. You'll eat with more respect for your body, and you'll keep living not just longer but stronger and more at ease. If you've stayed with me this far, I believe you're not just trying to live longer, you want to live better. And if something in this video resonated with you, I'd love for you to share your thoughts in the comments below. You don't need the perfect answer, just be honest, just be you. Speech balloon, what kind of cheese are you eating now? Speech balloon, have you felt a difference since switching? Speech balloon, and are you ready to try something new tomorrow? I read every comment because that is not the end of the story. It's where your story truly begins. Starting today, you have the power to choose differently and live differently. You've just made it through a full journey, long enough to read a chapter in a book, or to sip a warm cup of tea in peace. And if you're still here, all the way to this point, then from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Not just as a doctor, but as someone who believes in healing. Together, we've looked closely at something seemingly small, a slice of cheese in your daily meal. But as it turns out, that little thing can be either a silent trigger for inflammation, damaging your blood vessels, digestion, and memory, or a natural supplement that nourishes your bones, brain, and inner calm. The difference, just a choice. We've talked about heavy 6 types of cheese to avoid and why they don't belong in your fridge. Heavy 6 kinds to embrace, the ones that support a stronger body, better digestion, deeper sleep, and clearer memory. Heavy when to eat them, because health isn't just what you eat, but when you eat it. Heavy, and most importantly, we shared a real story. A man who felt alive again, just by changing the cheese he chose each morning. And now it's your turn. What will you choose tomorrow? Do you believe that one small change today could shape the next 10 years of your life? I don't expect you to remember every detail, every number. I just hope that something in this video gently nudged your awareness, that it inspired you to pause, to look more closely, and to start choosing yourself again. Sparkles, thank you for being here with me, patiently and sincerely. If today's lesson brought value to your life, I'd love for you to leave a comment below. Share your experience, or simply say hello so I know you were here. Cheese wedge, what kind of cheese are you eating right now? Herb, after this video, what's the first thing you'll change? Speech balloon, and what would you love to see in our future videos? I read every message, and your voice, your feedback fuels what I do, every single day, for you. Backhand index pointing right tap, that subscribe button to keep walking this path together. Here at Vigor Without Age, we live well, age gracefully, and find meaning in every stage of life. Whether you're 50, 60, or 90, wrapped gift, and remember, try making a change starting today. Choose a healthier cheese, slow down while you eat. Listen to how your body responds. And if any symptoms persist, please consult your doctor. Wishing you vibrant health, deep peace, true happiness, and a little extra luck on this beautiful journey of befriending your body. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next story. Same voice, new wisdom, and one more step forward on your timeless path to health.